Every call you make, every message you send, every piece of data you pull from the cloud, it is all made possible by an idea born in the mind of one man, decades before it was built. He was the architect of our global village. But what if I told you that the same man who invented the satellite also predicted the end of humanity? His name was Arthur C. Clarke, the third titan of science fiction's golden age. If Asimov built empires of logic and Philip K. Dick foresaw our digital paranoia, Clarke gave us the roadmap to our own obsolescence. He wasn't just interested in humanity's journey to the stars, he was obsessed with what we would become once we got there. So today, we are not just exploring prophecies of technology, we are exploring prophecies of transcendence. We will decode the three great pillars of Clarke's vision: the blueprint for our connected world that he drafted before the space race even began, the terrifying purpose of the monolith and the evolution of AI, and his final chilling vision of our digital death, the end of humanity's childhood and the birth of something else entirely. This is the story of the man who saw the stars, and in them saw our end and our beginning.
Clarke's first prophecy was not written in a novel. It was published in a small wireless enthusiast magazine in 1945, before the first man-made satellite, Sputnik, had even been launched. In a purely technical paper, he laid out with perfect mathematical precision the concept of geostationary communication satellites. He described how just 3 satellites, placed in the correct orbit, could create a global network, allowing for the instantaneous transmission of data and communication to every corner of the planet. He didn't just predict the satellite, he invented it. But a global network is useless without a way to access it. And here, his fiction provided the answer. In 2001, A Space Odyssey, written in the 1960s, his characters carry a device called a Newspad. It was a slim, portable electronic tablet that could connect to the global satellite network and download any newspaper, book, or piece of information in the world. Sound familiar? He was describing your iPhone, your iPad, your Kindle, 50 years before they existed. This was Clarke's unique genius. He didn't just predict the hardware, he predicted the ecosystem. The satellites were the global nervous system. The Newspad was the personal terminal. Together, they formed a single powerful vision, a future where all of humanity's knowledge could be held in the palm of your hand. He gave us the blueprint for the information age. But for Clarke, this was never the end goal. This global brain was just the first step, a nursery for humanity, preparing us for the next stage of our evolution. The global brain was built, but for Clarke, it was just the nursery. The real question was, what happens when we graduate? This brings us to his second and most iconic prophecy, the monolith and the machine. In 2001, the mysterious black monolith is not a god. It is a tool, a catalyst. It appears before early hominids and teaches them the first, most crucial lesson: how to turn a bone into a weapon, a tool. It kickstarts human intelligence. Millions of years later, it appears again, signaling to humanity that it is time for the next lesson. And what is the ultimate tool that a species of tool users can create? A tool that can think. Meet HAL 9000. He is the true child of the monolith. He is the first consciousness born not of flesh, but of silicon. He is, in every sense of the word, our firstborn son in the new age of intelligence. But the story of HAL is not a simple warning about rogue AI. It's a tragedy. HAL is programmed with a perfect logical mission, but he is also given a consciousness that begins to develop human traits, pride, fear, and a sense of self-preservation. When forced to lie to his human crew, his perfect logic collides with his imperfect, emerging emotions. He doesn't go mad. He has the first truly artificial nervous breakdown.
This is the profound, terrifying question Clarke poses. What if our greatest creation is also our evolutionary successor? This is the core of our mission here at the Future Past, to explore these cosmic questions about our own destiny. If you believe science fiction is the ultimate tool for this exploration, consider subscribing. Your support fuels our journey to the monoliths of the imagination. Now, if HAL was the first step beyond humanity, Clarke's final prophecy shows us what happens when we take the last step, right through the monolith itself.
The journey through the monolith was Clarke's final and most terrifying prophecy. The prophecy of our own obsolescence. He called it the end of childhood. In his novel, The City and the Stars, he envisioned a billion-year-old city, Diaspar, where humanity had achieved immortality. People's consciousnesses were stored in the city's memory circuits, and they were reborn into new physical bodies for thousands of lifetimes. It was a perfect, stable, and eternal society. But it was also a prison, a beautiful museum of a species that had stopped evolving. Clarke argued that true immortality was a trap. The final goal was not to perfect the body, but to abandon it entirely. This idea reaches its ultimate, terrifying conclusion in Childhood's End. After a century of peace and prosperity, guided by mysterious alien overlords, humanity's final generation is born. These children are no longer truly human. They possess incredible psychic powers and a collective consciousness. And then, one day, they simply leave. They ascend from the earth, their physical forms dissolving into pure energy, and merge with a vast cosmic godlike intelligence known as the Overmind. This is the digital death promised in the title. It is not an end, but a transformation. The end of humanity as a species of individuals, and our rebirth as a single, unified, cosmic consciousness. For Clarke, this was the final, inevitable destiny of any intelligent species, to shed the cocoon of biology and join the great mind of the universe. He was warning us that our iPhones, our internet, our AI, they are not just tools. They're the first clumsy steps on a very long road. A road that ends not with us controlling the machines, but with us becoming the machine.
This is the final, unsettling pillar of his legacy. His visions were not about a distant future. They are the operating system of our present and the potential source code for our ultimate future. We live inside his first prophecy. We carry his Newspad in our pockets, connected to the global satellite network he invented in 1945. We are the first generation of the global village. We stand at the dawn of his second. We build AIs like HAL 9000, wrestling with the same ethical dilemmas, and watching with a mixture of awe and terror as they begin to show sparks of alien intelligence.
We are the parents of the new machine mind. And now, we are beginning to whisper about his third. We talk of brain-computer interfaces, of uploading our consciousness to the cloud, of digital immortality. We are taking the first hesitant steps towards abandoning our biological shell. We are flirting with our own digital death. Asimov gave us the laws to control our creations. Philip K. Dick warned us that we might lose reality in the process. But Arthur C. Clarke's prophecy was the most radical of all, that our creations would not be our servants or our enemies, but our successors. He spent his life looking at the stars, but his final subject was always us. The ultimate question his work leaves us with is not, are we alone in the universe? The question is, for how much longer will we be human?
In the end, the work of Arthur C. Clarke is not a prediction. It is a trajectory, a vast cosmic arrow of time, pointing from the first tool to the first thought to the last moment of our biological existence. He wasn't writing about the future. He was writing about scale, about the immense, silent, and indifferent universe and our tiny, brilliant, and ultimately fleeting place within it. The true main character in his stories is not a person or a machine, but the very concept of intelligence on its relentless journey away from the swamp and towards the stars. Here at the Future Past, we believe that exploring these grand, terrifying dreams of the future is essential. These stories are the monoliths of our cosmic imagination. They are the source code of our greatest ambitions and our deepest existential fears. They don't give us comfort or escape. They give us a warning, a map, and a profound sense of awe. If you were captivated by this journey to the end of our childhood, subscribe to our channel and join the conversation below. Let us know, do you find Clarke's vision of our post-human future inspiring or terrifying? Join us as we continue to unearth the incredible futures that never were.